She didn't trust anyone. Not commanders. Not medics. Not even the engineers who kept her alive between battles. And she definitely didn't trust me. I could see it in the way her shoulders tensed the moment I stepped into the repair bay, and how her hand hovered near the magnetic lock of her pulse blade, even though she was injured, exhausted, and half her combat armor was fused shut. "Don't touch me," she said. Her voice was steady, but her breathing wasn't. "I won't," I replied calmly, "unless you want to survive." That earned me a sharp glance, silver eyes set in a face marked by old scars, the kind you don't get from accidents. Her armor, black and angular, was scorched along the left side, crystalline plating fractured where an ion round had nearly cored her. Emergency seals were the only thing keeping her upright. She was Valkyr Unit Ceres, 9, one of the Tribunal's most feared enforcers. And I was just a civilian engineer assigned to frontier repairs. We shouldn't have been in the same room, but the station had taken a hit. Power was failing. Medical bays were full. And her armor, custom-built, neural-locked, could only be serviced manually. By someone like me. "You have 5 minutes," she said. "If I sense a threat, I end you." "Fair," I replied, already pulling diagnostic tools from my kit. "If I mess this up, the armor's feedback loop will fry your spine anyway." She hesitated. Then reluctantly she sat. Beginning. The woman inside the armor. Up close, her armor wasn't just protection, it was a prison. Valkyr suits were bonded at the neural level. Once activated, they adapted to the wearer's reflexes, emotions, even fear responses. Over time, many Valkyrs forgot where the armor ended and they began. I'd read the reports. Increased aggression, emotional suppression, trust degradation. Ceres, 9 was a textbook case. As I knelt beside her, I could feel the heat radiating from damaged plating. I moved slowly, deliberately, making sure every motion was visible. "No sudden movements," she warned. "Wouldn't dream of it." My hands hovered just above her shoulder, waiting. She didn't give permission right away. Seconds stretched. The station groaned around us as another distant explosion echoed through the hull. Finally, she exhaled. "Do it." I touched the armor, not her. Yet. The suit reacted instantly, energy rippling along its surface. Warning glyphs flared in my visor as the neural interface detected an unauthorized presence. "Easy," I murmured, not to her, but to the machine. "You're hurt. I'm here to help." She stiffened. "It responds to your voice?" "Everything responds to tone," I said. "Machines just don't pretend otherwise." I began unlocking the external panels, fingers working carefully along the seams. One wrong move and the suit would clamp down, crushing muscle and bone. Her breathing slowed as minutes passed. "You're not shaking," she said quietly. "Should I be?" "Most people do," she replied. "They see what I am." "And what's that?" "A weapon." I glanced up at her face. "No. You're someone wearing one." For the first time since I'd met her, she didn't look away. Middle. The space between touch and trust. The real problem lay beneath the surface. The armor's internal lattice had fused with her biointerface. Removing it abruptly would trigger shock, possibly death. I needed to recalibrate the suit while it was still active, synchronizing it to release instead of restrain. That required close contact. "Next part," I said carefully. "I need access to the spinal ports." Her jaw tightened. "No." "If I don't," I said, "the armor will keep tightening as the power grid destabilizes. It thinks it's protecting you." She laughed softly. "It always does." Silence filled the bay. Then she turned slightly, exposing her back. 5 seconds, she said. "That's all you get." I moved behind her, heart pounding despite my calm exterior. The ports were recessed along the base of her neck, dangerously close to bare skin where the armor had split. I hesitated, just for a fraction of a second. She felt it. "Don't," she snapped. "Don't hesitate." "All right," I said softly. "I'm with you." My fingers made contact. Not with metal, with skin. The armor had receded there, warm and human beneath my touch. She inhaled sharply, not in pain, but surprise. The suit reacted violently. Energy surged. Warning alarms screamed. "Stay still," I said firmly, hands steady despite the chaos. "It's testing intent." "My intent is survival," she growled. "Then trust me," I replied. "Just for this." I synced my interface, feeding the suit a new logic path, one that recognized cooperation instead of command. It fought me. The Valkyr armor was designed to obey hierarchy, not empathy. But I adjusted parameters, rewriting feedback loops in real time, my hands working faster as sweat beaded on my brow. Through it all, she didn't move, didn't flinch, didn't pull away. "You're different," she said suddenly. "How so?" "You don't touch like you're afraid," she said. "Or like you want something." I smiled faintly. "I just fix things." The alarms died down. The armor relaxed. For the first time since activation, Ceres 9's shoulders lowered. The truth under the plating. With the immediate danger past, I continued repairs, carefully sealing fractures and stabilizing power flow. As the armor responded, its grip loosened, not just physically but neurologically. Her voice, when she spoke again, was quieter. "They trained us not to rely on anyone," she said. "Said trust gets you killed." "I've seen the opposite," I replied. "Isolation corrodes faster than enemy fire." She considered that. "You're not tribunal," she said. "You're tech's human." "Independent," I corrected. "I left centralized command years ago." "Why?" I paused. "Because I got tired of fixing weapons instead of people." She was silent for a long moment. Then, unexpectedly, she asked, "What do you see when you look at me?" I didn't answer right away. "I see someone who's been holding herself together far longer than she should have to," I said finally. "And armor that forgot it was supposed to be removable." Her breath hitched just slightly. The final panel disengaged with a soft hiss. The armor's internal restraints unlocked, shifting into standby. She could stand without it forcing her posture. Free, at least a little. She flexed her fingers, as if rediscovering them. "I didn't think it was possible," she whispered. "It was," I said. "You just needed someone to listen to both you and the machine." She turned to face me fully then. For the first time, there was no threat in her eyes. Only curiosity. Ending, when armor becomes a choice. The station survived. Barely. Emergency fleets arrived hours later, driving off the attackers and restoring power. Medical teams flooded the corridors. Tribunal officials followed, eager to reclaim their Valkyr asset. They found Ceres, 9 standing outside the repair bay, without her helmet, without her weapon drawn. She ignored their summons. Instead, she looked at me. "They'll order me back into full combat sync," she said. "Erase the adjustments you made." "They can try," I replied. "But the suit has learned something new." "What's that?" "That trust isn't a vulnerability," I said. "It's a stabilizer." She considered the approaching officers, then me. "I don't know how to be anything else," she admitted. "This is all I've ever been." I met her gaze. Armor's meant to be worn, not lived in. The officers stopped short, sensing something had changed. Ceres, 9 took a step away from them, then another. "I won't fight you," she told them calmly. "But I won't go back. Not like that." Shock rippled through their ranks. A Valkyr refusing command was unheard of. She turned to me once more. "You touched my armor," she said, "and somehow you reached me." I smiled gently. "You let me." She extended her hand, not armored, not weaponized, just human-like in its vulnerability. I took it, and in that moment, standing amid scorched metal and flickering lights, I realized something profound. She hadn't stopped being a weapon. She had simply remembered she was more than one. And for the first time in her life, she chose who she trusted.